Okay, this is the repair and reassembly of the exhaust on a 2008 Corolla. I used metallic paste to fill some cracks in this catalytic converter. And now it's been 2 days and it's fully hardened, I'm sure, by now. So I'm about to put it back together. I have taken some high temperature form a gasket and put it around the donut because there wasn't any problem with the donut, but when I reassemble it I want to get a good seal, so I didn't bother to take the donut off or anything. I just left it there. It stayed on when I took this off. Now when I put it back on I should get a good seal. I just put on the forma gasket. I'm using this Permatex high temperature gasket maker. I got this 750 degrees C. I recently found this. I used to use this copper, which also claims to be maximum temperature, but they might have come out with this 750. Hopefully either of these would have worked fine, but I used up all of this ultra copper RTV that I had. So now I'm just moving with this. This one actually said 700 degrees, so when I saw this one that said 750, that's when I said, okay, I'll spend an extra $1 on this stuff. This one, it actually said on their newest marketing that one of the recommended uses was on exhaust gaskets. This one doesn't actually say that, so I probably didn't need to spend that extra $1. This probably was fine. Okay, I put some anti-seize on to these bolts because I'm going to be reusing these bolts. It's they look like they're actually in pretty good shape, but I like to use the anti-seize so that next time when they come off, they'll come off maybe a little easier than they did on this time when they were rusted. You can order new bolts and what have you, but it does take time to order them and they do add to the cost. So now I'm just going to basically bolt this thing back together. I'll hit pause, see if that works. Okay, everything's been put back together and I snugged it up. I didn't give it the final snug, but I might still do that, or I might run the engine first. The hangers, everything been put back in place before I snugged it up. I put oil on these in order to get them off, and that oil is still on, so it makes it easier to, get them back on. That's highly recommended. These will cause quite a bit of friction. If you don't lubricate these, you're not going to be able to get these off. It looks like there wasn't any damage to the rest of the exhaust. While I was doing this job, I still have to put the O2 sensor back in. This O2 sensor actually has a couple of the anti-foul extenders on it, and not that it needed it. I think I put those on there just as an experiment to see if the system would run fine with them, and actually it did. The post-cat O2 sensor doesn't actually do anything. It's just a monitor for the OBD2. It doesn't affect the drivability in any way, so I could put those in or not. I don't need those. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I will give this a final snug, run the engine, give it the exhaust test. I think this is going to be fine for a couple of years anyway. We'll see.